Hey everyone, welcome to the Moose Crew. Moo here, and today we're looking at the top 10 War for Cybertron Siege figures. These are my absolute top 10 favorite figures from the War for Cybertron toy line, and I can't wait to go over them with you. I'm excluding any sort of Titans because I'm going to have its own video on Titans, and I won't spoil where I would place it. Okay, let's go ahead and get to it. Number 10, Impactor, the Decepticon version. The yellow, black, and white stripes on the shoulder and the chest give it such more compared to the Autobot version, which, you know, is lacking that detail. Along with the head, that head is great. It looks like a Spartan head. I really dig it. And the tank mode itself looks really nice. I like how it looks very futuristic, but similar to what we have. Overall, this figure is great. The silver paint just pops on the vehicle mode. Overall, this is just great. Let's move on to number 9 now. Optimus Prime, but not just any version of him from Siege, the 35th anniversary version of him. I love the way the cell shading looks, excuse me. This guy, he just looks so good. Even his weapons has cell shading on them. It looks like he is from the TV show, but physically in front of you. In some lighting, it looks better than other times, and it works with the Earthrise trailer, making it look even better. I really enjoyed both modes, and I'm looking forward to more like this. Hopefully we get some more cel-shaded figures in the future. Alright, let's move on to number 8. Of course, Soundwave. He has to be on this list. Regardless of what you think about his alt mode, this bot mode looks great. Some people don't like the yellow eyes. I really don't mind. And we are getting a red-eyed version later, so you should be happy with the mold. I love this mold. I like the battle damage. Surprisingly, it looks good. Compared to a lot of them, Astrotrain brain, specifically looks like he has just paintbrush damage on him. He actually looks like he's been through some battles, and he looks really good for it. And his alt mode, I actually like it a lot. The fact that it's a spaceship and it looks pretty good, I'm down for it. Moving on to our number 7, Springer. This is the first triple changer that I like every single mode. Well, there's a spoiler in Earthrise, but we'll talk about that later. Overall, these swords are a great accessory, and they complement his 2 blasters well. He's got pretty good articulation, especially in the knees area, and his overall color palette looks great. You don't have a lot of bright yellowy and green like bright colors in the War for Cybertron series, and it's kind of nice to see, and it feels appropriate. It feels like this works for the character. I do also like that the alt modes have a very cool futuristic looking tank / car, and then the helicopter mode, which you can kind of use in car mode too. It looks great. I really love this alt mode. Alright, and you know, propellers are awesome. But moving on to number 6. Alright, we have Clone Sideswipe. This mold is reused quite a bit. It might be even coming a retool version in Earthrise. But this black deco on this deep crimson red looks so good. I'm very happy with this figure and one of my favorites. And the alt mode in this version and in the normal Sideswipe look good. But this version, that deep red looks so beautiful, and the deep black that just shines off of it. I didn't think I would like a glossy black, but a glossy black looks very good on this figure. Alright, let's get ready and move on to number 5 on our list. Barricade. This figure is so cool. Blows the Studio Series figure out of the water. The black and purple deco screams, I'm a Decepticon. Do not mess with me. He's got that awesome light. Even the light's purple. Just everything about this figure makes me want to play it some more. I don't mind the hollow legs, but Barricade carries this mold way more than probably ever could. The double guns, how cool is that? The double guns that can become a single gun. You don't see a lot of toys that have that kind of neat versatility with their blaster. And this alt mode, oh my gosh. It is, I thought... Clone Sideswipe looked amazing. This purple and black with the scuffed up battle damage looks so good. And you know, speaking of looking good in purple and black, let's move on to our next number 4, Skywarp. Oh my gosh. Luckily, I was able to get this guy pre-ordered and locked in long before he was sold out. I was very fortunate I was able to do that. And he looks amazing. I like the seeker molds for the bots, specifically the bots more than anything. But this color scheme looks great in either way. And once again, just like Barricade, the silver pops on this black and purple. It is delicious. Don't eat your toys. I mean, you're delicious metaphorically. Please don't eat your toys. All right, let's move on to number 3 on our list. Shockwave. I'm beginning to notice the trend here. If you're black and purple, or just purple and silver, you seem to be getting on my list. Shockwave, he is really good. He's actually the first toy I bought for Siege. I didn't really collect Transformers. I bought it to kind of play with my son. I'm like, you know, he had like Cybertron and all that. I bought a few of them. He's in the show. And wow, I was blown away by this. This is so good. Even his alt mode, I really enjoyed. He has the upgrade components, which, but I don't like how it brought up the price. But overall, I do like how it beefed up the alt mode. This alt mode with all this extra kibbly bits makes this look amazing. This is actually the very first figure I've ever reviewed and put on YouTube. I love it. All right, let's move on to number 2 on our list. That Bobo. Okay. All right, number 2 on our list is Minister. The Ministers. Once again, the purple. Something about that purple and this. Normally the outlandish colors. This doesn't look like silly, out of place. He still looks like a Decepticon, and he looks really cool. The articulation and like the balancing and head sculpt, everything about this figure says I'm awesome. Take me up and start playing with me. Take pictures. Isn't this so cool? And even in his alt mode that he has, it's pretty good. It's not as good as this bot mode. This is one of my favorite bot modes in the entire series, including Earthrise so far. He just looks so good. But his alt mode's pretty good too. You know, it's a helicopter, and I like propellers and rudders, and you can kind of spin them, and they spin around. All right, before we get to my number 1, let's go over some honorable mentions that almost made the cut, but I had to knock it down to these 10. Let's go and take a look. Nemesis Prime. How awesome is this paint job? That sword, ooh, it's a nice like bright pink salmon on that black, with the teal just shines off of it, and he actually feels so much better to transform than the other Prime. Right, let's go ahead and move on to our next one. Speaking of Prime, Galaxy Prime. I really like the way this figure looked in his completed beefed up mode, and also in his vanilla cab mode. But he had too much kibble. He had a really big belly and a big old butt. So I guess he's been hanging out with BotBots too much. But he had a cool Gundam Maxter look to him, and I got an upgrade kit for his legs to make him a little bit taller. Came with a cool axe, and it suits him well. Overall, I like it in all the modes. But he is best when he stands in the middle. Alright, Cog. You know he's Cog. Weaponizers, they were a thing they brought in. They more or less dropped them in the, you know, Earthrise and doing base builders instead. But these components in the weaponizers, I thought this was really cool. I wanted more of this. His alt modes are pretty good too. He's got like the giant vehicle and then the 2 smaller vehicles. But being able to use him to upgrade your figures, that was cool. You can make blasters and armor and extra bits for that. Combine them with multiple versions of Cog and other weaponizers and make monstrosities. I'm just overall wish they would have continued this gimmick instead of doing the base building ones, because Earthrise base buildings have been lackluster for me. They're too small for what they try to do with them. And our overall Cog is great. I would say he's 11. Alright, and our number 1 is definitely Jetfire. And that's before I saw his amazing entrance on the War for Cybertron's Siege TV series on Netflix. This figure is huge. This figure is imposing and looks fabulous. The way those reds and the fact that you can upgrade him out of the box with some new armor. or you can keep them, you know, the normal. You have the different factions that you can be, Autobot and Decepticon. The way his hands open and close, and you can put things in them, even some things he doesn't want. I really enjoy it. This figure was a win, a victory for sure. This is no doubt my number one. And here you see his Alt mode is great. You can upgrade it and put extra pieces on him and make him even more awesome. And as you can see here, he has the ability to carry teammates with him, even ones from different series. That peg fits both. And one other thing is you can actually put little Titan Masters in these guys, or Headmasters, I'm not sure what you call them, but they can fit inside of his main cockpit and also in the back part. I love it. That's a nice touch. And you know, you can see exactly why this figure is my favorite. So I really appreciate y'all for watching and checking this out. What are your top 10? Give me top 20 if you really feel up to it. What are your favorite figures from the WFC Cybertron Siege series? If you don't mind, I'm still trying to get my channel off the ground. Feel free to do a subscribe and like. And I also have a giveaway. In the description box, there will be a section about the giveaway. There is a video, the WFC Cybertron Siege review video. If you leave a comment on the video, and once I hit 200 subscribers, I'll do a random pick from one of the people that have left a comment, and I will send them a Generation Select Exhaust. So I hope you're excited for this figure.